what happened last time, because we're idiots and we've never done this before, was we didn't realize that the bell housing bolts, there's 12 of them in total. We just thought they were all the same size because we were tired and lazy and we're idiots because it's the first time we've done this. But 2 of the bolts were longer, and because we're idiots, we put a long bolt where it's not supposed to go, and we put a long bolt where it's not supposed to go. So this bolt got stuck and it's not coming out. So I just tapped bigger thread. So there was an M10 bolt and I just tapped wider thread. So it's an M12 bolt in there. So that's fine. But then this one where we put the bolt in the oil pan, it went way too far into the oil pan and it broke the little wall, that whatever you want to call it, where the bolt's supposed to stop. But because it was 10 millimeters longer, it went right through it. So now we've got to pull the oil pan off, get that bolt hole welded again, so that there's a wall again, so there's no leaks or anything like that. So once we get that welded, we'll put the oil pan back on and then put the flywheel on, put the clutch on, and hopefully this time around, put the transmission on the correct way. Codeine got me dripping. So we just need to get that right there sealed off because we put a bolt that was too long through it and it broke that wall. So as soon as that wall sealed off, we can put the right length bolt in there and we should be good to go. So we went to get it welded, but it's pretty much in a position where you can't weld it. So what we're gonna end up doing instead is using some Optimum black gasket maker, and it's got oil resistance, so it'll be good for here. It's made for oil pans essentially. But as you can see in there, what we're gonna do is instead of getting it welded, we're just gonna seal that with the gasket maker. Then when we put the bolt in, we're gonna use this Loctite retaining compound on the bolt, and that should be more than enough to seal it off. Okay, so now we're just gonna let it dry. It takes 24 hours to fully cure. Then we're gonna put a retaining compound on the bolt and put the bolt through, and that should be it. Since the last time, we've repaired the oil pan in there where the threads broke off. And what we're doing now is just cleaning the gasket. We've cleaned off the surface of the oil pan, and we're gonna put the oil pan back on. And then I think from there, we'll put the flywheel clutch on, and hopefully this time the transmission goes on the right way. You have to breathe down, but I'm gonna need your help. The 2 bolts that we had messed up last time where we put the long bolts in, we tried to extract the one so it wouldn't come out. So what we ended up doing instead was, these were M10 bolts. We just tapped an M12 bolt and it's a shorter bolt. So in the one hole, we're gonna have to end up using this. And then in the other bolt, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little bit of the gasket maker on the end of the bolt, which as we're threading it in, it will kind of squeeze the gasket material outwards a little bit. And we're gonna use some retaining compound and we're gonna put that on the threads, and that should help seal it up and we should be good to go. So once we slide the transmission on, that's the last 2 things to do, and then we'll bolt everything up. Squirt a little of this inside of it. Yep. So this time around, the bell housing went on a lot smoother. We kind of knew what we were doing. We torqued everything. It's good to go. So the next step is to put it inside the car. And then I guess we'll see if we can get that done tonight. Success! So it's in. I was under the car pushing the transmission up, and wiggling it around. Kian and Nick were both on either side trying to figure out what needed to be cleared. The steering shaft gave us a bunch of troubles. We ended up disconnecting it. On this side, for some reason, the engine was a little crooked, so it kept getting stuck, the engine mount on top of the frame rail. So we basically just had to keep maneuvering it for a while, get it into place, and it's in now. It's bolted down, the steering shaft's back down, and the transmission's also mounted, so everything's good to go. I think the next step from here is going to be the wiring, and hopefully we start it soon.